Hi, my name is Lorena Hernandez. The following is going to be a biomechanical case study, specifically looking at the volleyball jump serve. The subject for this biomechanical case study is a 15-year-old male, 69.5 inches tall, 130 pounds, has been playing volleyball since the age 12, currently plays at the high school level, and has competed at the national level as well. The movement that we're going to be analyzing here is going to be the volleyball jump serve. In the jump serve, we can identify 5 distinct phases: ball toss, run up, take off, the airborne phase, which is further subcategorized, followed by follow through and landing at the end. Here we have a video of nationally ranked Japanese player Nishida performing a jump serve. For the first part of this evaluation, we're going to be looking at tests normally performed inside a laboratory. So first, starting off with the FMS. If you direct yourself to figure 4 on the bottom for the score sheet, and then looking at figure 5 on the left and right, a couple things that I wanted to point out was the asymmetry on the left and right shoulder. As you can see in figure 5, it doesn't reach quite as far with his left as opposed to his right on the right hand side. Following that, I'd like to look at his Y balance. As you can see, there is a difference of 6 centimeters between his right and left when he does the posterior medial reach. And then finally, his vertical jump, which was tested, it was tested to be approximately 23 inches. I say approximately because we did not use a Vertec. We had to do it with the equipment available at our disposal. Now we're going to take a look at the subject actually performing the jump serve. Here we have now on this slide a series of images which consists of our evaluation of the jump serve. First image, figure 6, shows hyperextension of the shoulders plus flexion of the knee and hip with the given angles there respectively. Figure 7 looks at the vectors during the takeoff phase. The point of a whole volleyball serve is not only to displace yourself upwards, but also in a horizontal fashion so that you land inside the court as well. Here in figure 8, we have the shoulder moving back behind the head as portrayed by the red arrow, and the C curvature shape that you see in yellow in this figure is indicative of a movement that volleyball players do in order to increase torque. And when volleyball players increase torque in this manner, they increase force output on the ball. Again, this is figure 9 here, is showing that similar phase to figure 8, but with a different view. We're looking at it now from a frontal view, in which the orange arrow indicates the shoulder is moving back and towards the right, and the pelvis is shifting towards the left. So that's very different segmental ways that volleyball players contort their body. In figure 9 specifically, it's very hard to notice, even when the video is moving, his pelvic shift to the left. He's got very minimal pelvic shift, but very good shoulder rotation to the right. So looking at figures 10 and 11 and 12, a couple things I wanted to touch on real quick for the second part of the evaluation. His limbs haven't quite reached full extension in figure 10. His elbow retains a little bit of flexion as well as his left knee. He has good torso lean as indicated by the green arrow. More so on that torso lean. When it's coupled with the shoulder angle, as it is on figure 11, you get what's called the shoulder abduction angle. And this angle in him is at approximately 35 degrees right before the moment of impact. This angle should actually be quite smaller. You want to look at this angle somewhere within 0 to 20 degrees. You want it to be as small as possible to reduce that risk of injury. This is actually quite hard to achieve in many volleyball players because reducing that angle would actually reduce your power output as well. And now looking at figure 12, this takes a look at moment of impact and how that induces and can alter the Magnus effect on the ball. If you recall, the first phase of the jump serve is the toss-up, And when you toss it up with top spin. So your ball is already spinning by the time it reaches its max height and you get to hit it. So where you hit it, which side you hit it on, you can actually alter the pressure that it receives, in turn altering the direction by way of the Magnus effect. First part of intervention that I would address would be his landing when returning from a jump. As you can see, figures 13, 14, 15 are all product of his landings from his jump serve, whereas figure 16 is actually a product from his vertical jump when it was tested. You can see he always lands on his left foot, kicking out the right, landing as a sort of starfish. As we know, the sum of all forces landing on that left foot is extremely high. So right now, he's actually at great risk for injury in that left foot, particularly the left knee. And he actually already reports pain after playing for a while on that left knee. In conjunction with the first intervention, fixing his landing, I'd also go back to the FMS to address some key issues here. Looking first at his shoulder mobility and all those asymmetries, the 2 and the 3, shoulder mobility is a big part of being a volleyball player. That shoulder hyperextends a lot, and it needs a lot of mobility from the surrounding musculature. So ensuring asymmetry there could help prevent future injuries attributed to overuse or excessive trauma. Following that, I look at his rotary stability. 2 1s in this area tells me that he has no balance and coordination and lacks that ability to move different segments of his body, which was indicated when we saw his figure 9, in which the shoulder was moving back and the pelvis only moved to the left only slightly, where it should be moving a lot more. Finally, I take a look at his deep squat. Again, you have a 1 in this area. There was a lack of balance even with the heel support. Addressing the deep squat at the end is going to be beneficial not only for areas of performance on the jump serve, but for future strength and conditioning purposes. These are my references, and that is all. Thank you so much for watching.